Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your June 2016 mid-month readings. I am still using the Gilded Tarot deck, and even though we are focusing more on the last half of the month and the month in its entirety, I'm still going to be using the same 8-card spread with an additional ninth card to represent your crowning card, general energy, and overall feeling over the reading, just to give as whole and clear and definitive a picture as possible. Don't forget to check your rising and your moon sign as well, because there are so many of you watching and you're all coming from such different and diverse backgrounds and things going on in your life that your primary sun sign reading may not resonate as predictably for you as it will for others. I often, not always, but often find that my sun sign resonates better for me in matters of work and finance and kind of my surface public life. My rising sign to resonate a little more spot on for me in matters of personal relationships, and my moon sign to give me guidance more in matters of spirituality and my innermost feelings and fears. I have found that to be a trend with myself, not always, but a lot of the time. So make sure to check all three of your signs to get as much insight and clarity as you can. Thank you to those of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe to my channel. It makes me feel very good to see the family growing on such a daily basis. Both those of you who keep returning and for those of you who are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for your love and support and feedback. And as I always say, keep the comments coming. You guys are wonderful at writing feedback. And I especially love the comments where you describe how the readings resonate for you so predictably. I find them really fascinating. So please keep those coming. Both the ones you send, you write on my channel itself, and the ones that some of you send via email. So don't stop that. And thank you always, a special thank you to those of you who keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. Thank you for the trust you put in me and the momentary place in your life to interpret and intuit the cards for you. And thank you to especially my regular clients for continuing to update me. I love to see how the divine energies that work through the cards resonate so predictably. They're never wrong with people. So thank you for that. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage. That will give you a little more information in detail on myself and the services I offer and my contact information. And you can always email me at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I do readings full-time, so I'm pretty good about getting back with you very quickly and scheduling a reading as soon as possible. My current turnaround time is anywhere from 1 to 4 or 5 days, but always within a week. So send me an email. I would be delighted to work with you, and we'll go from there. So moving right into this reading is for Libra. Libra, what does the remainder of the beautiful month of June hold for the airy air sign of Libra? Libra, June 2016, mid-month. Libra, June 2016, mid-month. There is a little kitty in the background here, and her name is Sasha. Libra, June 2016, mid-month. Yes, you can see my background has changed once again. I often succumb to the periodic desire I have to satisfy my gypsy half with wanderlust. I think I have brought you, my beautiful family members, I think I have brought you readings from just about all four corners of the world. So Libra, what do the last 2 weeks or so of June hold for you? Okay. We begin with the Eight of Cups, followed by the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Seven of Wands, followed by the Five of Swords, the Queen of Swords, followed by the Emperor, and the Justice card, followed by the High Priestess. Powerful combination. And as your overall theme, general feeling over the reading from the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups and the King of Swords. We have the King of Swords, who seems quite determined to be here. I think I'm going to let both of those stand, particularly since we have the Queen of Swords as well. So let's just take a look, Libra, and see what comes through. Okay, I feel, Libra, like a lot of you are considering moving away from a particular individual, though it could be a situation in your life that has to deal with your maybe financial world. Okay, let's begin. We find ourselves at around, time being fluid, the middle of June 2016, Libra, with the Eight of Cups, followed by the King of Pentacles in reverse. So the Eight of Cups. Cups is governed by the element of water. And so the suit of cups is about that watery world of our emotions and feelings. And it's a suit that can also represent love and relationships as well. The Eight of Cups is a card of leaving, of moving on, leaving something behind. For some of you, this is, I think for a lot of you, this is going to represent leaving something from the past behind or moving on from something connected to the past. This is a card that speaks of feeling, Libra, around the middle of June 2016, that you are done with something. It feels like you're over something, and all that's left to be decided is what direction you're actually going to move away in. Because this energy, the energy of the Eight of Cups, is not a card that represents the decision-making process, or I don't know exactly what whether to move on or not. This is a card of somebody having already made the decision to move on. They're just not sure which direction to move on in. You can see on this card that there are 8 cups behind this man. Some of them are tipped over and spilled out, and some of them are still upright and full. The implication being that he has tasted and drunk from most, if not all, of these cups. And while he may have found them at the time to be interesting or sustaining, um, at the end of the day, it turned out to be not what he wanted, not where he found his joy, and he has decided to move on from something. This can also represent a situation or relationship that has not worked out the way that you thought it would or the way that you wanted it to. This could also be related to a job or work or career situation. Something perhaps you've invested a great deal in. For some of you, this is going to be represent a situation from the past or something which has been going on for quite a long time. A lot of you, I think it's connected to a specific individual. This man has definitively decided to move on. His back is turned to us. He's dressed for travel. He has his cloak on, his hat on. He's got his walking staff in his hand, and he's surveying the horizon, trying to decide which way he wants to move on from. So around the middle of June 2016, Libra, it looks like you have decided, or at least it's swirling around in your head and your heart, that you're done with something. You're disappointed it hasn't turned out the way you wanted to, or it's just simply time to cut ties and move on with something, from something. And what you're moving on from has something to do with this King of Pentacles in reverse. So Pentacles. Pentacles is governed by the element of earth. So it's a suit that's all about things in our earthly, tangible, material environment, things that we can see and touch and feel. And a lot of times the suit of Pentacles points to things like money, finances, resources, assets, property, home, things in our tangible, material world, that day-to-day life, the practical details. You can apply those same energies to areas of spirituality or love and romance. It's about tangible manifestation or tangible results of something. The suit of pentacles is all about it can, because it's governed by earth. You think about earth elements: rooted, reliable, dependable, a sense of safety and continuity. In the upright position, the King of Pentacles would represent a person, likely an earth sign, sun, moon, or rising, which would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. In the upright position, this is somebody who would be perhaps somebody older, somebody more mature and reflective. Could be a position in authority or power, because he's a king. He's reached the culmination of his suit. Um, somebody who's comfortable, if not wealthy, because he's very good at things in that tangible earth element world, things like money and finances and property. And he also very good provider, feel good husband, good boyfriend, good father, good source of support and advice, particularly in anything that has to do with maneuvering and navigating the world of finances or practical details. He's very good at that. Um, in the reverse position, this would be a person who takes advantage of those things or uses those things, those earth element tangible things to manipulate other individuals. In the reverse position, this could be somebody who uses money as kind of a tool to in, to negatively influence or manipulate people or anything in that tangible world. In the reverse position, he is not reliable, not dependable. Everything that he is in the upright position, in the reverse position, he is not, or he uses all of those things, those skills, those talents, the things that he's accrued. He uses those things as a way to manipulate and negatively affect and influence. Uh, and to better himself and to negatively influence other people. And I feel like for a lot of you, not all of you, of course, because this is going to play out differently as it always does for everyone watching, you're moving away from, or you've either made the decision or it's still in your head, I'm done, I have to get away from this. For a lot of you, it's going to be moving away from this person or finding a way, a direction in which to get away from this King of Pentacles in reverse energy, this person. I feel like for a lot of you, there's been a lot of conflict with this person in your life. If their sun, moon, and rising is not, uh, i- Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, I feel they strongly manifest the character traits of that because I am feeling like for a lot of you, it is a specific person. For some of you, this is going to be this King of Pentacles in reverse can represent the energies of some kind of situation in your tangible material world, perhaps a financial situation where you had a financial foundation built up very solid, very reliable, and something happened. You found yourself on hard times, and you're trying to figure out a way to move out of those energies and into a more abundant, prosperous sort of time. Um, Pentacles can also represent physical resources like home, house. Perhaps some of you have lost a home or you're moving out of a home. You could be moving away from something that you thought was stable and foundational. But again, I feel like the majority of you, this is connected with an actual person, a situation that where this King of Pentacles in reverse is a main factor. Kind of everything is centering around that. Now, right next to that, we have the Seven of Wands paired with the Five of Swords. So wands is an element that's governed by the element of, it's a suit that's governed by the element of fire and air. So a very dynamic combination. And the suit of wands is a very dynamic suit. It's about change, movement, action, power, forward momentum. It's about the kind of primal creative manifesting energies. The suit of wands is about what we do and the inspirational action oriented energy that turns our ideas and dreams into reality. It's about movement, action, making things reality. So it can also it's a suit that can represent any kind of creative endeavor, artistic endeavor. It can also represent career as well. The Seven of Wands is a card about defensiveness, basically. It's about being on the defensive. It's also about defending something that you feel very strongly about, that you feel a sense of ownership in because you've invested so much time and energy and love, etc. in. You can see on the front of this card that this man is standing in front of the door to his home, his castle, his keep, his heart, perhaps. Again, this can resonate for a lot of different directions for you. It could be an actual house, a relationship, a career path or job. And he's holding his wand up in front of him in a defensive posture, not aggressive, but defensive, because he feels like he's being threatened or challenged somehow by these other um, six wands. This can also, so this can represent defending something or feeling like you need to defend something because of how much you have of yourself invested in it. It can also represent standing by a decision you've made, even when you're being challenged by other people, that perhaps you're doing the wrong thing. It can represent standing up for someone, speaking your piece, but it's about defending something you believe very strongly in, whether that's an intangible thing or an actual tangible thing. But I'm getting a feeling of conflict about this. And it could be about your decision to move away from this King of Pentacles in reverse individual or situation. I feel like a lot of you have made the decision that you're done, that you're moving away from it, and either that person themselves, he or she, or people who know about it, and perhaps all of the above, are maybe trying to tell you that you're making the wrong decision. But it's about standing by something you feel that you feel strongly about. Again, I'm getting conflict, but it feels a lot more like verbal, a lot of chatter, perhaps either from well-meaning people or just from, negative naysayers. I feel like for a lot of you, the conflict you've had with this King of Pentacles person or situation has been ongoing, and this card represents those energies as well. You're just tired. You're tired of being so defensive. You're tired of the conflict. You're tired of the fights. Some of you, this is going to represent that, that you're done, that other people are trying to talk you into staying, or maybe the person themselves is trying to talk you into staying, but you're just done. However it's going to play out differently, but the basic energy I'm getting is that you're tired of having to defend, of being so careful. You're just tired of being on the defensive all the time. And that feeling is further underscored by the card that's paired with the Seven of Wands. We have the Five of Swords. So Swords is a suit that's governed by the element of air. So it's all about that airy world of words and ideas. It's about our mental outlooks and perspectives, how we look at things, our belief systems. It's all about what goes on up here. It's a very mental and cerebral suit. And the Five of Swords is a card technically a victory, but a shallow victory at best, which is not really a true victory. You can see that on the front of this card, this man has just finished a battle or a challenge of some kind, and his opponents or enemies or foes are obviously defeated. They're down on the ground in the grass behind him. He has gathered up all of their swords, all of their weapons, and he's holding his own aloft in victory. But this card doesn't have a very victorious feel to it. The colors itself are very grim. He doesn't look particularly victorious. He looks tired, defeated, exhausted, worn out, totally depleted. He's wounded. He's bleeding from a little cut on his forehead. And this card begs the primary question, is it worth it? It has a feeling, this card, of one battle in a whole series of battles. And yes, you may have won this one, but it's just going to go on and on. And again, the underlying question is it worth it? Is it worth investing in? Is this war worth fighting at all? And paired with the Seven of Wands, I'm just getting kind of this just overall tired feeling. And again, you're done. It feels like you're done. Whether you've told people about it or not, you just feels like you're over this situation, you're over this relationship. You're so tired of fighting, winning, losing, it doesn't matter. You're just tired of defending, of fighting, of the conflict. It's time to move on this month, Libra. Now, right next to that, we have the Queen of Swords paired with the Emperor. Very well matched energies, actually. So I feel like, Libra, for you, particularly in the last maybe third week of June 2016, maybe bleeding into the fourth week a bit, it's all about how you move through the rest of this situation, particularly for those of you who've made the decision that you need to move away from this situation, this person. It's going to be about doing it in the most practical and as impartial a way as possible, meaning that even though for some of you it may be an emotionally charged situation, to try and leave emotions out of it as well as you can. I don't think that's actually going to be a problem for a lot of you, because it just feels like you're done. For some of you, the energy I'm also getting over this reading is some of you need to be a little more clear-sighted and smart and savvy and realistic about this situation and about this person, because some of you, I think, are trying to justify this person's actions, I feel like you may be being hurt or taken advantage of this person, and it's been going on for a while, but you tend to maybe sometimes justify it. One of your crowning, you actually ended up having two crowning cards, and one of your crowning cards was the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups can mean a lot of different things, but it can also mean a sense of naivety and of not being very practical or grounded or realistic about how you look at a situation. And I'm kind of feeling like for some of you, um, this energy, this Emperor and Queen of Swords combined, and your other crowning card, which is the King of Swords, it's going to be all about taking the blindfold off, taking the blinders off, and really look at this challenging situation of this person and see the situation for what it really is. It doesn't look like it's very healthy for you, and it doesn't look like it's worth everything that you've been investing in it or the constant struggle and fighting. And you need to be very clear-sighted about this, which is underscored in this coupling of the Queen of Swords and the Emperor. So that suit of swords, remember, is about mental outlooks, thoughts. Queens and kings represent people who have reached the culmination of their suit. They're kind of at the top of they're in the most balanced possession of the traits of their suit. So this Queen of Swords would be somebody very intelligent, very clear seeing, clear sighted, insightful. She's a truth seeker. She's all about what is the actual facts and the logic of the situation. Uh, the court card people of the suit of swords can sometimes come across as a little emotionally detached. They're not necessarily. Sometimes they just carry their emotions very deeply. It's just their presentation. But they're logic-based people. They often make decisions and come from a place of the mind before the heart. The energies of the Queen of Swords would be exactly that. And I think it's what you're being called to manifest the remainder of this month, Libra, particularly when it comes to this King of Pentacles reversed individual or situation. It's about setting emotion aside. Don't make a decision. Let your decisions or your vision be clouded by emotions and justification. It's about the energies of the Queen of Swords. What is the fact, the logic? It's about taking the blinders off and looking at it head on and clearly and making decisions and taking actions that are based on that, being as impartial as possible, seeing it for what it really is. That Queen of Swords is accompanied by the Emperor, a major arcana card. Same kind of energies, only even more elevated. The Emperor is rules from a place of high intelligence, wisdom. He's all about making sure the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. I've got this nature sound going on, and there's some frogs croaking on it, so it's hopefully it'll pass very quickly. Let me turn it down. The energies of the emperor are setting emotion aside. He has a whole empire to run, like kings have a kingdom to run. The emperor has a collection of kingdoms. He knows that every decision he makes is going to affect a ton of people. So it's all about taking a step back, setting emotion aside, looking at a situation or a person in the kind of the cold hard light of day. What is the reality of it? What is the logic, the truth, the information behind it? And make your decisions and actions match that. For those of you who have been in a relationship with somebody like this King of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like a lot of you have just stuck with it for a long time because of what you want it to be or what you think it might be, or just kind of justifying it. And it's really, and that could go for like a job situation or career path too. It's not being realistic enough about it, and that's what's being called for. That Queen of Swords and that Emperor combination is just a very loud message about that. Look at something very clearly and make sure that your emotions are not clouding the situation. And you need to trust in your own instinct and guidance on this, yours and nobody else's. Right next to that, which is at or towards the end of June 2016, Libra, we have the Justice card, Major Arcana card, paired with the High Priestess, another Major Arcana card. The Justice card, again, it's another echo of this message. Justice is blind. Where does that saying come from? Because justice is supposed to be emotional, impartial, devoid from emotion, really. It's supposed to be based just on the facts, the logic, the proven motivations of the people involved, which is what the Justice card represents. It represents, it says that the outcome, um, and consequences of a decision will be based completely and solely on the facts, and it should be the facts and the logic and the proven motivations of the people involved. So that's what makes justice fair, because it's not about what people thought or wanted or felt. It's about what actually happened, what people actually did, facts, logic. Devoid of emotion and kind of impartial. Justice is the card that says it's the reap what you sow card. Exactly what you put into this is exactly what you're going to get back out of it. And again, it's about and there's a moral theme attached to the Justice card too. It speaks of whatever situation you're involved in, whether it's personal or legal. This could represent a legal situation for some of you. Um, the Justice card says the outcome is going to be based on what you do. So make sure that your decisions and actions are based on a sense of honor and personal integrity, and tell the truth in the situation, and see it for what it actually really is. And the Justice card is paired with the High Priestess. And I feel like, you know, it's a major arcana card, major arcana a combination. And the High Priestess, as an individual and as an energy, she is very spiritual, highly intuitive. This is about trusting your own gut instinct, trusting your own intuition, and trusting in whatever your connection to the divine is to help guide you and know what that is. And paired with the Justice card, regardless of what other people are telling you, because this Seven of Wands energy, again, I feel like a lot of you may be being fooled or trying to be talked into or out of something that you don't really feel comfortable with. And the High Priestess is all about choosing your own path, going within, taking the blindfold off, seeing a situation for what it really is, and trusting your own gut instinct, your own intuition, to know what the right way to walk through this is. That's what this energy I'm getting off of this combination of cards, Libra, for whatever this situation is, legal, around the specific person, or a situation where this person is in the middle of it. For some of you, this is going to be the whole thing. It's a legal situation that involves this person. But again, the strong feeling I'm getting throughout this reading, echoed by your crowning cards, is perhaps in the past you haven't been realistic about the situation. You've been kind of ignoring things or justifying things. And the remainder of June 2016, Libra, is about taking off any blindfold you may have had on, looking at it head on for what it actually really is. Make sure that all your decisions and actions are not clouded or made uh, based on emotion, just on what really the facts are, what the reality of the situation is. Trust in your own instinct, trust in your own intuition to tell you, to guide you, and your connection with the divine to know the best way to go through this situation, because I feel like it's something you want to and need to leave behind. Now, your crowning cards, you ended up getting two of them, the Six of Cups and this King of Swords. This King of Swords is just yet another echo of this energy about, leaving emotions out of it. What is the truth of this situation? What is the truth about this person? And act accordingly based on that. They still rule, this Queen and King of Swords. They rule from a place of compassion, but I feel like, Libra, a lot of you have just been taken advantage of in some way, constantly, and it's really about reality this month, which I feel is from the Six of Cups too, because the Six of Cups can resonate as you're being too childlike about something, you're being too naive or too illusionary about something, and it's about really needing to be more practical, more realistic, more grounded. Um, and that may be difficult for you to do, because if this is something you feel emotional about, particularly if it's somebody that you love or care about that has been, the source of this conflict and struggle and battle and perhaps deceit. I know that when air signs, you're very mental people, but you hold emotions quite strong and quite deep. And sometimes when you're caught in the middle of that, it can be very difficult to look at the reality and the truth of a situation or a person, particularly if it's something that's affecting you negatively, because you don't want to see somebody that you care about or love. You don't want to believe that they're taking advantage of you, or to walk away from something you're emotionally connected to. But it looks like the remainder of June 2016, Libra, you're being called to be realistic and grounded about something, because the whole part of this, the whole theme of this is to move from an unhealthy situation and into a more healthy period of your life, trusting in your own intuition and instinct and connection with the divine to know how to finish walking through this so that you can be in a place that you deserve to be, which is healthy, whole, serene, peaceful, and surrounded by people who will love and support you and treat you like the valuable person that you are. So Libra, I hope you have enjoyed this reading, or at least that it's brought you some insight, some clarity, some food for thought. Value yourself and don't allow yourself to be in or remain in a situation where you're being hurt or taken advantage of in a continuous manner, even if it's by somebody that you care about. Be 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 more clear-headed and realistic this month about it. Because it's about being on a path and moving towards a place where you're going to find joy and fulfillment, and again, have people in your life that care about you and love you and value you for the valuable human being that you are. So I hope this has helped give you a little bit of food for thought about that, Libra. And for any of you who are interested in a personal one-on-one reading, you can click on the about sign on my channel's homepage or email me directly at Maggie the number one McGuire at gmail.com. Personal readings, of course, are more specifically tailored for you and what's going on in your life and questions you may have and struggles you may be facing. So I would be delighted to work with you. Send me an email and we'll go from there. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the July 2016 general readings. In between now and then, I hope to have enough time in the next couple of weeks to put out uh, 12 short career and finance focused readings because I do love to do those. So hopefully I'll have enough time. We can look forward to that. But I will see you at the beginning of July for sure for the generals then. And until then, I wish you, as always, Libra, joy, health, blessings, peace, and a happy, happy life. Thanks for watching, Libra, and I'll see you soon. Bye.